Hello and welcome to Warblog. I'm going to sort of make this a little quick. This is the what I'm calling the Bukavo game, which maybe really be called the Bukavo and something else game. What should it be called? The Bukavo and the Goma game, or something like that. Anyway, but it did maybe put it into perspective. Little map. It's part of the First Congo War, so there's the whole thing, which took a lot longer. What we're dealing with is a little space. Well, let's face it, it's about that big. That's what we're looking at now. So we're looking at the first foray across the border. I just keep doing that because that is so small. So that is essentially what we're looking at here. So that is that little section, and as you can see, it's got this sort of lake in the middle, and the border is actually there. So this is something else. I don't know what that is. Uganda, I think, probably. And this is Rwanda. So it looks, it's only 2 hexes on that other map, and obviously it's a bit bigger here, and this is the other one, Burundi, and it's the opening sort of thing. Now, I sort of got this one, I'm not trying to do the whole thing, but I just sort of explored it, because basically, I mean, I've been doing this a little bit before, but generally speaking, I've been doing a lot more of this, and so what we've got here is some newspaper clippings that I can get from the online newspaper thingies. So War in Zaire brings fear of bloodbath, you know, and there's a little map there, and Zaire last night was like facing all-out war, genocide, and an eventual disintegration after the strategic city of Goma fell to the invading Rwandan army after fighting alongside Zaire's Tutsi insurgents, etc., etc. So there's quite a lot of stuff in here. Tens of thousands of refugees have been streaming out of the main cities as Zaire's ragged army retreats in disarray before determined assaults by the well-trained Rwandan soldiers, etc., etc. So I've got a few more of those. They're actually sort of linked, and so for things like that, it's pretty much the only sort of obvious evidence, not evidence, but sort of information. I mean, you can get quite a lot from the newspapers that you can't necessarily get in Wikipedia. The newspapers, but then again, on the spin-off is the newspapers quite often don't have the facts, because they sort of just report them generally and often miss things out that aren't actually known at the time, whereas Wikipedia knows them sort of in retrospect, etc. But it's sort of a level of detail. Anyway, I mean, there's nothing special about this. It's just the opening moves across the border. So I'm going to play it. Now, the thing is, when I say I'm going to play it, it's quite sort of not so much bizarre, but there's nothing to play. It's not as though you even have to move down this road or do that. I mean, there's your forces there, and there is Bukavo, and that's what we've got to take. So, you know, we're already set up to take it. And there's the big stack there and forces there, and there's Goma. So now the only thing of sort of other possible interest here, and I maybe could have added more objectives to reflect this. I don't think I will though, because basically it's about these 2 places falling. But they, and I can almost say this now, Banyamulenge units were sort of behind the scenes. So they're here and they're behind. So we've got sort of internal, because they were rising up in revolt, we've got this internal sort of conflict, but there aren't really any objectives. So the objective is to sort of essentially to put the Zairean army into retreat in disarray, as the newspaper clipping reports it, and the objective for the Zairean army is to hold their ground. So you really got to defeat the whole army. So, and we've got a lot of these insurgents inside. So what I'll do next, I mean, I don't know what to do really. They're worth quite a bit in there, to be quite honest. I'm not sure, I haven't thought through the balance of it. But if they're worth 9 in dense, That could be 9, 18, 27. How much can I actually get against them? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's not much good, is it? What about down here? It's going to be the same. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, well that's rubbish. We're not going to just steam straight into these places. So how to do it? I probably need more units actually. Let's see what we can do with the irregular units. So sort of chaos. 1-to-1 attacker retreats. Interesting. So he goes back to where he was with depression 2. Okay. Okay, well, he's got some movement, so he's going to do one of these attacks as well. One-to-one, an exchange. So these are smaller units attacking bigger units, but they're actually not that small. So they're going to be pretty hard to sort of attack back. I generally do insurgents at either 1-1-3 or 2-2-3, and these are the 2-2-3s, which makes them pretty tough, because these small infantry companies are still going to find it tough fighting them. In fact, they're going to find it tougher because they're going to be doubled in jungle, I think, or 1.5 in jungle. So it's even going to be a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2 when they attack back. So the irregulars could maybe put a lot of pressure on these units. An exchange. No movement left. Attacker retreat, so they're not having much luck. That said, exchange. Okay. So maybe we can make some ground here. Now we've got two irregular companies, so it's going to be 10, 16. It's going to be probably a 1-to-1 still, but we've got this round, possibly a 2-to-1. 3-to-1 DR, so they have a victory there. Forcing that one back a little, but do they have any movement? Not enough movement to advance. Okay. So that's going to be 10, 16 again, so there's going to be another 3-to-1. With another DR. Okay, so we're pushing that line back, we can't really advance. Two to one, another DR. We're doing okay on these assaults. Two to one, another DR. Look at that, just pushed all these units back. Three to one, another DR. So they're sort of pushing the His units back in disarray. Attacking this place is going to be tricky. I'm just thinking as a game player, we could just plonk all the troops into there. Get a massive stacking bonus. Okay. Oh, in that turn. I think what I'm going to do is add some Rwandan mechanised units into these stacks. I don't really want to start falling back completely. Okay. I'm not going to do any attacks. I think they're better off defending. Okay, so I've managed to reinforce quite a few of these places now, but what we can do, it's got no movement left though, which is a pain. Only a few minutes left. Can't really get the surround here. Or can we? What about this guy? Yes, look at that, full surround. Well, I'm not convinced I'm going to get good odds here in any sense whatsoever. So I'm doing this, but I know because I've only got a few minutes left and might as well just go for it. Bang. Oh! Oh, you don't see that in action adventure films that often. 1-2, that was the heroic charge of something heroic, and the defences fell, and this is the sort of thing that you write stories about. Okay, well, we've got less than a minute left. Let's see whether we can do a similar thing here. It's going to be about the same odds, maybe a 1-1. Come on, another 1. An exchange. Okay. Do we have anything with movement? Yes, so we can take that. That was incredible. I might do another video because I'm really pushed. I shouldn't really, but so that was sort of the opening moves for the Bukavo game. I think one of the interesting things is there's clearly a big block up here and clearly a big block down here, and clearly this impassable lake in the middle. Okay, I'll speak later. Bye. Okay, well, seeing as I did so well there, I will put the mechanised units in, but obviously not this game. I'm going to carry on just to see how it sort of pans out, because that gives a lot more scope. I mean, there's virtually nothing there now. There's still quite a lot up here though. So let's turn this into Tutsi rebels. So we did that attack there and just got an exchange. That means we can still do some attacks here. Four to 1 DR. What sort of depressions have we got over here? I'm going to leave that one to recover. I'm going to leave that to recover. I'll leave him to recover. He's not depressed, so he's going to do his assault. Well, so much for that. He's going to attempt to recover there. So that's that. So what odds can we get here? Oh. Okay, that's think of it, but I think that sort of blocks that road. It also gives us a small chance to maybe take a couple of these units out. With a spot of luck, might, if I spend 3 units onto that, 2 units onto that, I'll spend some of this supporting them. So let's see what we can do here. These 3 with 2 of these. As long as I can attack or retreat, we should be okay. A DR 3 to 1, that was good. That's forced him to retreat there. Unfortunately, we can't move into there really. Because if I could, I could get rid of these units. Because if I win, all I'll do is retreat there. So I'm not going to do that. Okay. So down here, it's less critical well, I mean, it's pretty much lost. So it's pretty much it's less critical as to what we do. Really, we've got to sort of do a mop up or start sending some units north, and it's going to take a while, no matter how I try and do it. Now I can certainly cut them off again. Well, let's try it. This time I think we've got more units in play. One-to-one and exchange. So it's bloody war there. One, two, three, 4, 5. It's going to take at least 6 turns to get there. I think I'm going to commit some units in this direction. I think they should do it, and I'll do this one as well. So this whole stack is going to try and reinforce. It's not going to get there in the next 15 minutes. So the rest of this just needs to hold, but at the same time, we can try and take out some units. Three to one, DR. What's this depression like? Depression 0. So this is going to be 5, 10. 2 to 1, 1 to 1, 3 to 1, and exchange. Depression 2, we'll leave him where he is. Depression 2, we'll leave him. No depression, so let's go for that. 1 to 1, DR. Depression 0 versus depression 0. An exchange. He should be on 1 now. Yep, so I'll still leave him there. The rest of all of this. These have all been used, so we've got an attack against maybe this or this stack. I think we'll go for this, just to keep the numbers up. Two to 1 and exchange. Okay. Well, there's not much they can do here really. Depression 4, Depression 2, Depression 1. Okay, well again, we can try. Let's move this guy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a couple from here. 2, 3, 4. 2 of these in. Let's get one of them in. 6 to 1 DE. However, it was in all those, so it retreated. And yet again, oh, have I messed up? No, I can move him there, him there, him there, move that. Four to 1 DR, eliminated. Well, that was convenient. So now we've really got a change in strategy there. That was good. So it looks like they might be able to hold out. I didn't think it's going to be this exciting, actually. And they really can't keep Bukavo, but Goma looks like it could be saved. At least they've got a hint of it being possibly saved, especially if they can start piling a lot into there. Okay. There's still all these units behind the enemy lines. I can't really do much about that. Okay. Well. Good job I made that decision. Depression 0, depression 3 there, depression 0 there. Four to 1 DR. Slow work, we're slowly pushing these people back. They keep recovering. That's the problem. These irregulars move fast through jungle. 1 to 1 and exchange. That's going to slow him down. Another exchange. Should have possibly moved him through. Okay. Well, this line is slowly becoming more condensed. Lucky Daryl could do it. That's the second one. That was a 1 before and a 1 this time. And I mean, that's luck. But do any of them have enough movement to get in there? Yes. Okay, well, it's coming up pretty much to another 15 minutes, so I'm going to call it at that. Got both the objectives. I don't think they're going to be able to take it back. There's no chance, not with all those units in there. So that's that. I'll speak to you later. Cheerio, bye.